So my name is Bilani. I'm really here pleased to introduce a good friend of mine, Barak. I've known Barak for a couple months now. We met, he actually reached out to me a couple months ago. I was visiting Las Vegas. We had dinner in Las Vegas all together, met his beautiful family, and from there we became family. You know, we were inspired by our joint mission to do good in the world, you know, to contribute to peace and progress, and to uplift people, regardless of race, religion, color, creed. That doesn't matter really to us. And so I was most inspired by Barak for his vision for Nevada. He comes from a business background. He's an entrepreneur, a real estate builder, an investor. He's contributed all his life to the private sector and as a job creator. You know, job creation is the center of the American economy. It's the backbone of our American economy. And I was just so humbled a few weeks ago when Barak actually gave me a call and said, Saeed, I would like you to run alongside me as my lieutenant governor. I told him, Barak, I have my hands full, but you have my full and undivided support. So I extended the invitation for him to be here with us today, and I hope his invitation will be welcomed by you all. With that said, my good friend Barak Zilberberg, hopefully the next governor of Nevada. Please.
Thank you, Saeed.
Of course, my brother.
Thank you. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, it's an honor here to be in presence in Georgetown University, where academics is at its excellence, and I'm just very honored. I, as far as never attended university, I'm a high school graduate, but I've chosen a trade. And with my trade, I started in plumbing from the roots, from nothing. You know, maybe with a credit card and $3,000 as a line of credit on my credit card, literally. But I have learned academically on the field as to what are the functions are and the anatomy of the plumbing sector. So I've learned plumbing. And out of that was my vehicle to make money. Now, as a child, as a kid, I always, let's back up a little. I'm sorry, I'm a little ahead of myself. As a child, it was understood that I would have to be self-sufficient and make my own money. My father at age 13, he had mentioned that if you want something, you go out and work. So I had this drive and this hustle since I'm a kid, and I was selling auto shades in the corners of streets. I was babysitting. I was working in a gas station, and what really thrived me is interacting with people and helping people and communicating with people with all races, colors, origins, nationalities, everybody across the board. I have a connection with everybody, and I look at everybody as a person, not as far as I mentioned, any creed, color, what have you. And I have learned so much working in a gas station. I actually used to close shifts at age 15 and a half. That's how I learned accountability. 15 and a half years old, I was working 14 hours in a gas station, endlessly closing 2 shifts in the gas station so that the numbers and the accuracy of numbers are in line. So my boss doesn't slip and say, hey, what happened? Why are we missing money here? So everything was in place and in line, and I was very responsible at a young age. Furthermore, I've learned, again, let's speed up, I've learned plumbing, and through plumbing I've learned entrepreneurship and how in making a business out of my knowledge in plumbing, and that interpreted into a business. And I've had 150 employees. I was delegating in office in regards to, I had a person in accounting, I had a person that was collecting the money, which is the payables, and in production. So I had divisions in my company, and furthermore, I was delegating to all my employees out there, and we're having constant meetings and discussions on how to improve and how to achieve greatness. I am successful. I always have been successful, very passionate, and with that, I've achieved, and as an adolescent, I was smart enough that my parents were, they were enabling me to live in their house, and they were paying my rent, food, so I was able to achieve and saving my money. By saving my money, I also, as far as initiated a credit card, which credit is very important. In other words, everybody should, as far as be at the best credit status. In order to do that, instead of paying cash, pay with a credit card, and every month you pay off your bill. You know, you don't incur those 22% finance charges, and what have you. Save your money, and I believe everybody should be a homeowner. Each and every individual should own their own asset.
I would like to thank the University of Georgetown for their wonderful invitation for Barak Zilberberg, a candidate for Nevada 2022. Their wonderful invitation, and the president of Turning Point USA in Georgetown, Bilani, for his beautiful coordination, showcasing his beautiful university. Hopefully many leaders will continue to follow suit in the path that a lot of up-and-coming leaders are beginning to partake in, and hopefully cause a revolution for the youth and the up-and-coming great endeavors getting ready to fight in worsen, because there's a lot of things that many people are being affected in, and I'm happy to be representing a wonderful person, Barak, and as well as Saeed, in their pursuit to achieve American ideals and reinstill them back into our communities. And faith and optimism is something we need, especially women and men, in a time of coronavirus where even in the box it says it does not protect you against diseases. We need to wake up.
From a young age, I've been engaged. I've been, and in large part, a lot of people say, Saeed, where do you get your drive? Where do you get your ambition? Where do you get your fire? I don't see it as fire. I see it as, just my natural spirit. Yeah. And it came from a young age. Yes. Those days where you wake up, you'd rather go out with friends and have a good time, but no, your father, your uncle drags you to work. Like I said, you go from cashier to manager to small business owner, all before you even graduate from high school. And it really puts things into perspective. The people I was working with, it was in the telecom industry. It was in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Oakland Park, Martin Luther King Drive, very diverse area, very strong Jamaican and Haitian community. So by the time I graduated from high school, I graduate speaking 6 languages. I speak Haitian Creole, Jamaican Patois, as well as Arabic. And then, of course, being from Miami, you have to speak a bit of Spanish with all the Cubans we have. Cuban community, very lively community. So, this helps you. It helps you in the trick of the trade, right? You're talking to the people, the customers, they're coming, they want to buy phones or clothes or whatever it may be, and they're Jamaican. And you speak with them in Jamaican Patois. It means the world to them. You have a Haitian, you talk to them in Haitian. A Cuban, you speak to them in Spanish. An Arab, you speak to them in Arabic. And now here I am, parlaying that with respect to foreign policy, now with my work, going into the State Department as a U.S. diplomat. These languages, I'm sure they'll serve me well, and hopefully this country. So these things that you learn for yourself end up helping others in the larger country. And the main thing about this, Barak, is the transferable skills. Because in this post-COVID economy, we can't rely on the skills that you already have. We need to teach people, and you can't just rely on a college degree, because at the end of the day, all that is a paper. Mm-hmm. If you have a college degree in economics, good for you. If you have a college degree in philosophy, good for you. But you need to have these transferable skills, these skills that you can be able to pick up, mm-hmm. and that you can take from industry to industry. Like I said, I took it from the telecom industry to now diplomacy. two broadly different industries, but I guess you can say they parlay. So it's about transferable skills, and we need to give that, Barak. You need to imbue that into the community, particularly the youth,
Yes.
because that's when they're most impressionable, right?
Yes. They
And so-
absorb like a sponge too.
They absorb like a sponge,
Yeah, and
giving
you
them
know,
languages. You know?
yeah.
And so, with should you become governor, God willing, you, with respect to your education plan, we need education reform. We need it
Yes.
badly. I mean, it's problematic, folks. I may be going on a tangent here. Forgive me, but we are world renowned for our higher education. We have some of the best colleges and universities in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Harvard, Georgetown, many of you here, George Washington as well, I'm not going to forget you. But our high schools are failing. They're poor. I mean, it's sad. It's sad. This
Yeah.
is our global might is our economy, a $20 trillion economy. Look at the other schools across the world. They're beating us bad.
Yeah.
And these are like you said, they absorb like a sponge. They're
Yeah.
impressionable youth.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is when when you're a youth, that determines your future. Whether you go down the right path as a righteous citizen, as a person who will contribute to society, or as someone who will, veer off and not follow the righteous path, right? It's too late once you're in college. So, particular, with respect to secondary school, we need to ensure that we have a quality education, and especially in communities that have been underserved for far too long.
Yeah.
I've been going into, here in Washington, D.C., we're here in Georgetown, one of the most privileged communities in Washington. But you go out to Ward 6 and 7, you have schools where to enter the school, you have electromagnetometers. It's as if you're walking into prison. And that's sad. That's a sad reality for our students. It's like we're preparing them to go to prison. That's the wrong mindset to have. We need to change our educational system. We need to revitalize the infrastructure that lies within. We need to inspire the youth, to give them the idea that they could achieve what they need to. Unfortunately, I go there every Friday to tutor and mentor these kids. Kids to College is the program here in the Multicultural Equity Center. And to give them, the idea that you can go to college. Many of these kids, their parents don't go to college. They don't have the opportunity, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And they tell me, I could never go to college. I'm not college material. Well, that's wrong. The college needs to become your material. They need to build themselves around you, not you around them. And so we need a lot of work to do in education. Barak, that's my passion. I tell you all about it all the time.
And then you know what? It also starts within you. Everything starts within yourself. You all need to identify your talents and who you are and what your passion is. And it starts with you. It's within. And you also, nobody discourages anything toward you. You just discourage yourself. And if you say, I can't do this, you're just simply not going to do it. But if you say, I can do this, and the ways of thinking in positive aspects only, you will do it. And you will achieve it. And that's how you get across. That's how you achieve success. It's all in the mind. Everything is in the mindset.
It's in the mindset.
Yeah.
If you imbue at a young age, especially, that you can change, you can contribute. We don't need these people, these elder folk, wagging their fingers. No, you're too young. You don't know what you're talking about. Go back to school. Stay in school. No, you look at people on the Hill. You have Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez or Madison Cawthorn. These are people in their 20s, millennials, and they're stepping up to do something, regardless of their politics. I gave you someone on the left and the right, just so you don't, quote me on that. But you have people who are, sacrificing their, private sector salary that they could make, wonderfully, as Barak said, or, just to go into the public sector to contribute to society, to put themselves aside for the sake of their communities and their country.
Yeah, I don't like is, I don't know, I tell you, a lot of leaders have promised everybody the world just to get the vote. I don't think that's right. I think if you promise something, you must deliver what you promise. And if you don't deliver what you promise, then you shouldn't promise. Simply like that. So whatever I promise, I will definitely deliver. And I will not give up. I will work tirelessly and endlessly for the goals and the achievements of my promises made into realities. And that's what I like to do. And then hopefully I could show a presence in Nevada as how a state is run and how the functions are supposed to be, and hopefully it'll trickle effect to the rest of the nation. And once I prove myself, hopefully one day I could be in Pennsylvania Avenue in the White House as well. That would be my honor and my privilege to serve all of our beautiful people in this nation. And furthermore, the world, and achieving harmony and peace. And this is how we collaborated, me and Saeed, is the functions of peace. Peace. Love. Togetherness. Embrace. Respect. Honor. And that's the beauty of our nation here at the United States of America.
Alex?
I guess I wanted to direct my next question to Saeed. What are your thoughts on critical race theory in school? I know we've touched on this before earlier in the conversation, but I just wanted to hear from you.
Sure. With respect to critical race theory, I think it's problematic, to be teaching. We should never forget our past, right? Because when you forget your past, you're destined to repeat it, and especially our darkest past, right? And we all have a dark past, right? I think America is a wonderful country. I believe in American exceptionalism. But America has a dark past, just like any other country in the world, and we should teach about it. But at the same time, critical race theory, the way it's being implemented and instructed, it is creating divisions. It is creating an inferiority complex with one race and a superiority complex with the other. The idea is to bring people together. We need to teach about the past of slavery and racism. It's very important, otherwise we will repeat it. But at the same time, we can't instruct about it in such a way to where it will turn people against each other. And the way it's being implemented is, one race is superior, one race is inferior, and this race is out to get the other race, and that's deeply problematic, folks. So if it's implemented in the right way, then I don't see a problem with it. But I see now there's a big problem going around this country where it's being implemented in a way where it's creating tension amongst kids. And again, we just talked about how kids are vulnerable. They're innocuous, they're learning. So if you tell them a person of this race doesn't like a person of this race because something that happened 300-400 years ago, then they're going to learn to create a resentment in them. Even if you don't directly do it, it will indirectly be planted, these seeds of resentment. And so that's problematic. I think we should teach kids to love each other.
Yes.
To teach of the past, but to understand that we are now a united country.
Yes.
Anyone can achieve the American dream, should you put your mind, your heart, and your hard work towards it.
Yeah, I tell you, I was over in Clark County school district. I was present there, and they had a hearing, and I've heard, it was an adolescent Black American girl addressed and voiced herself to the board. And she mentioned that she had to go to school and she heard bullying and racial slurs because of her skin color, which is wrong. And it was really, it saddened me, just to hear the voices of many others and what they're incorporating in the schools as far as the critical race theory. It's dysfunctional. We should introduce functional curriculums in our school districts, as I mentioned before, and excuse this critical race theory out the window, for sure.
Thank you. I just want to direct another question towards Saeed. I was just wondering, as a first-generation student, with all the odds stacked against you, how do you achieve your American dream, and how can others do the same?
Thank you. Really, it's troubled me when people say that that America is an unfair society. That despite the odds, what measures a man is when a man is knocked down, their ability to get up. when their back is against the wall, their ability to get up. I immigrate from Lebanon. I wasn't even born in this country. I'm an American by choice. My family came to this country just like any other family in pursuit of the American dream. I would say I'm still in pursuit of that American dream. So we emigrated from Lebanon as political asylees. And here we are, and I will tell you, I'm still acquiring my American dream. I've gone on to study at Georgetown, student education at Harvard. Here I'm here at Georgetown again for another master's degree. Teaching at Harvard and doing all this, and I'll be entering the State Department as a Foreign Service officer, as a U.S. diplomat. And essentially, as a diplomat, you're representing the United States of America. Mm-hmm. You are a diplomat of the American people. So to come as an immigrant, much less a political asylee on the run for political persecution, to now representing the people of the United States. I mean, I had nothing handed to me, candidly speaking. I was very fortunate from a young age. Like I said, it was my ability to, work hard. That's all I tell you. I'm not smarter than any one of you. In fact, many of you may be smarter than me. Mm-hmm. It's not about intelligence. Mm-hmm. It's about hard work. Mm-hmm. And I'll tell you, I'm the hardest worker. All the work, anyone, all hard work. No matter who it is. And if you are the smartest person in the room, you're in the wrong room. You need to surround yourself with bright people. People that can advise you. Barak, hopefully when you become governor, I encourage you to surround yourself with bright people.
Yeah.
Maybe like Apollonia or your little boy Zeev,
Yes.
People that can shape your minds. It's and like I said, I'm still in pursuit of the American dream. I haven't acquired the American dream because the American dream is the higher ideal. I don't think it's something anyone can really achieve. But we can achieve glimpses of it. And like I said, with respect to my education, with respect to my professional life, I've made some contributions to that effort. And so all I can do is really try my best, not point fingers, not play the victim card, because frankly and candidly, you work hard and the opportunities are there. No matter your race, your color, your sexual identity, mm-hmm. your faith, your creed. You live in a country where you have the First Amendment right to speak your mind and to say what you'd like to say.
Very true.
Unfortunately, many other countries don't have that.
Yes.
Here we are today as a testament of that. Barak happens to be Jewish, and I am Muslim. We're making a good faith effort towards peace.
Yes.
That's hopefully something that we can inspire other folks, especially in the Middle East. So yes, as a first generation American, I am still pursuing my American dream. If you think I've acquired it, I haven't. But I thank you, and like I said, it's something that's tangible for you all, regardless of where you come from. No matter your background, your identity, no matter where you're from or where you will go. Let it be a guideline that will guide you.
Yeah, that's absolutely correct. I believe that wherever you have to roll up your sleeves and get down and get dirty or whatever the task may be, that's what you need to do to get the job done. You need to make the efforts and the attempts, and you got to go in ways where nobody else goes, and be yourself, be creative. I advise also to think outside of the box, creativity, and that's all within all of us. Listen, when you're driving a car, right, there's no instructions as to where you're going. I mean, you know where you're going, but there's things that happen. You're a defensive driver, you're an offensive driver, and that's a matter of common sense. It's a matter of also street smarts, and it's also good to be book smart. And if you have all those functions, and you're driven, and you're hardworking, and you go to places where no other person wants to go, then there's your success right there. It's very simple. But you have to put the time, the ambition, the perseverance, and the sacrifice. There's always sacrifice in doing what you do, but you have to love it. And you have to give it all at what you're doing. And don't look ever left, and don't ever look right. Look at your prize. As they say, eye on the prize. Eye on your goal. Regardless of what's going on, you're focused, you're determined, and you will get there. There's no question.
And the last couple minutes, if there are any questions, please. For Barak or I.
What advice would you guys give to people looking to follow in your footsteps, both in public service and foreign service?
Well, public service, you have to really, really give from yourself, your heart, and your inners, and it's never the interest of yourself. It's always the interest of others and people. And in order to be successful, I believe either you're in the public or private sector, is that you have to do it from your heart and from your inners and your soul and everything that you may have, and like I said, the integrity and the honor and the respect for each and every one is very important, and bringing people together is also very important, and identifying how to achieve your dream and where you'd like to go. And you need to have the right people and as far as move forward and achieve it with others as well, because it's a team effort. It's like you have a team, right? Let me give you an example. A football player or a basketball player. Okay, I don't know who do you like? Do you guys like sports? Any of you? Do you have an athlete in mind that you that really supersedes and is inspirational to you? Any of you? Okay, let's just say you're in basketball, right? Mm-hmm. So you have a team, right? You have a coach, you have players, you have positions in your team. So each person is designated in the team, and obviously they're working toward the same goal. They're not working against each other. They're working together with each other. So obviously you're playing ball, right? You're dribbling or what have you. You're going to look for your teammate, your player, and shoot the ball to your players. You're not going to obviously throw the ball to the other team, because you're within your team. So it's all teamwork, and in a team and everything. Even I'm talking to you in a team, but even in a business, if you are looking to upstart your own business and you want to go ahead and enter entrepreneurship, you need to also identify, your teammates. Who do you like to be in your team, and who would be the best position and function for that particular task? And this way everything functions very smoothly and neatly, and everybody works towards the same goal. Same thing in public servant. As a public servant, you must have the right cabinet of people. And the way I want, as far as have a cabinet, is I want to have a diverse cabinet where I have all ethnicities as Americans in my cabinet. So if there's an outreach to a certain community, or a certain, as far as diversity in our community, we have that outreach. We have the outreach available to all the communities, so that we could bring it on together, and we're a team. And that's what I like to do.
So you partly answered the question in your question. You said, how do you become an effective public servant? And in the foreign service as well. With respect to public service, you engage the public. Go out and listen to the public. See their concerns, hear their concerns.
Yes.
See their needs. See how you can fit into those. Right? You need to understand what the public want. Because at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's not about your party. It's about the public and their needs. Whether you're running for Congress or a governor or the president of the United States or whatever it may be, serve the needs of the public. Get out there, even from a young age, right? Understand, even if it's talking to people, talking to your mom, your dad, your family, your brothers, your sisters, your cousins, your uncles. Understand their needs. What is it? Is it the inflation that's going up? Is it their tax bills? Is it the electricity bills? Are they having a hard time making ends meet?
Yeah.
What are the challenges? And how can you fit into those? How can you change their lives, their livelihoods for the better? With respect to the foreign service, I encourage you to, learn languages. Because in the foreign service, you are being sent out to represent the United States abroad. And so, learning languages, communication, being able to communicate with other people effectively. And that's also what languages and other means too. And often in the foreign service, you're the first American that many people meet. So your impression upon them is often their impression of America. So at all times, you should be representing America and the goodness of America. So I think you could be successful in either regard. But like I said, the common denominator in all of this is the public and how you engage with the public. That's what makes a difference, really. So be a people person.
Yeah.
Talk to people. I'm an introvert. Don't let this fool you. I'm an introvert. But go out, talk to people, understand their needs, see how you can help people. It doesn't have to be for a political run. Just understand how you can help people. People will help you when you help people. It's as simple as that. Let's just go back to the fundamentals. Do good upon others, and good comes to you. It's simple as that. And with that in mind, Barak, this was a
wow, that's
quite a night.
That was very well said. Let me say that was unbelievable. Well, yeah, that's what it's all about. It's about connecting with people, having a connection. It's okay to say hello. How are you? How are you doing today? How was your day? Anything. Just uplift people. Just by saying a nice word, I like your suit. I like how you're dressed. I like how you're groomed. Any sort of just a sense of conversation, friendliness, cordial, and that's what it's all about, and then understanding people, like he said, interpreting their needs, their wants, what pains are they going through, what are their needs. Now, I myself and Saeed, I can relate to anyone, top and bottom and all around, because I've been here, and I've been here, and I've been there. So I can relate to anyone. It doesn't matter who I sit with or what kind of discussion I have. I have a relationship with everybody because I can relate to everybody. And that's the art of me. And that's what I like to do, is we'll bring people together and make things happen and make wonders. And that's what we like to do. Yeah.
Yes. With that said, guys,
is there any other questions? Anybody? Any other questions? Anybody?
Unfortunately, I do think we're out of time.
Oh, we're out of time?
But
okay.
I really do appreciate you coming and speaking. I really wish you the best of luck with your race. You are the next governor. So thank you so much.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you for having me on here. Thank you. Thank you. It was a pleasure and honor here to be in Georgetown University and having our presence here tonight, and the invitation from Saeed Bilani, which is very admirable. I thank you all for coming out tonight and hearing out as to how we would like to enhance society, environment, and help people truly gracefully from our hearts and our soul as public servants. Wouldn't you say?
Yes, thanks again to Saeed Bilani, the president of Turning Point and Georgetown University, for their wonderful leadership, conservatism, and persona that they are gonna transition to our future leaders and hopefully instill and keep Americans very strong in faith and education and harmony.
And look, the party continues.